Morning, folks. Today's shaving cream is going to be brought to us by Barbus Classic. Uh, this one here is pretty easy to whip up also. Got it whipped up here in a little wooden bowl here that I've got. Smooth bottom. That's what it looks like here on the inside. This one here is a Yaqi brush, freedom brush with a synthetic knot, 24 millimeter. Like I say, it took no time at all this morning to whip this up. I'm going to follow the shave up with a Clubman panade. This one here is a Sweet Rum, and it has this description here at the bottom, and it says a tropical breeze scent with blackberry, currant, and plum notes. Even with that being said, I would consider this a very much a manly scent as opposed to a. It's not. I don't think that's much of a cologne scent. So in other words, it may not be everybody's cup of tea. For me, it smells fantastic. I like it. But that's per my nose, and your nose might see it in a different way. Blade choice today. Still going to be using the Voskhod. This one here is a Teflon coated blade, and if you're wondering, it also comes double wrapped. Shaver of the day. Rex Supply. This is the Ambassador, this adjustable razor that they have. It weighs about 3 3/4 ounce, and it's about what is that, 3.5 inches in length. To help give you some sort of idea. By the way, we'll be starting on setting 6 if you can see that. It's got 6 settings, by the way, and then the Gillette Slim here has 9. And as it goes for a size comparison, if you put them together like that, the Slim is just a little bit longer if you're familiar with the Gillette Slim. So the handle's a little bit shorter, but it also is a bit thicker than what it is on the Slim. Now yesterday I went ahead and I shaved with this one here, and matter of fact, you can kind of tell it is not in the best of shape. Got some pitting on the doors there, got some plating loss right there, but even though it doesn't look very pretty, shaves fantastic. Works just like it should. Just want to throw that out there. In other words, you can get some shavers that don't look all that great, but still function just like they did when they were new. This one here, just a fantastic shaver. All 3 passes on setting number 9, and very close, efficient shave yesterday. But today, this will be my first time go on the Ambassador, and I'm going to start with setting 6, and then going 5, and then going 4, just to see what the shave feel is with those settings. Already put a hot towel to the face this morning, and already put the pre-shave oil from Art to Shaving, and we'll go ahead and get started putting on the lather here. Kind of anxious to see how it works. I wanted to go with the Slim yesterday just to get a good idea. In other words, memory fresh with shaving with the Gillette Slim, with a comparison to see how it works with a Rex Ambassador. And for me, a lot of times, not always, when I use a adjustable on camera, I might adjust the settings as I go, but typically off camera, it's more along the lines of what kind of shave do I want that day. So if I want one that's very efficient or might be considered aggressive, I'll go with the highest setting, or a very high setting, if you will, number-wise, and that's what I'll go with on all 3 passes. And if I want something a little bit milder, I adjust it down accordingly. Just depends on what kind of shave I'm looking for during the day. So if you're kind of on the fence of why an adjustable razor to begin with, it would be along those lines. And the rabbit hole that you'll fall down is what adjustable is going to work well for you. One thing to look at it also in this particular shaver here is that it's not one of those inexpensive models. This one here, a lot of care has taken to the design, and as goes for the material. It may be kind of hard to see. You've got Rex down here on this side, and you got the serial number here on this side, And for some folks, that's going to be an important factor. Uh, if you've traveled down the wet shaving or traditional shaving road very much, not all shavers have that information on there. In other words, you may not even see who actually made the razor. There's no manufacturer name on it, no serial number, there's no nothing. And for me, that looking long term, 50 or so years, like this, the Slim, that's a 62 model, so it's, already what, about 60 years old. So to have the information already stamped on it, who made it, and at least something to work with many years down the road might become important to some folks. And somebody like me it is. So looking at this razor here long term, even though I did wait quite a while before I finally picked one up, and it had a lot to do with the fact that I have two actually. I have a Parker variant and the Merkur Progress, and as well as a Future. But the Progress and the variant, I guess you might say, kind of put a kink in my decision-making process, because both of those are cheaper than the Ambassador, and I enjoy shaving with both of them. To me, as it goes for the Progress and the variant, I like the variant more so. It has a lot to do with the weight. Once you start to get past that, in other words, you start nitpicking at either razor, and it just depends on what you're looking for in your shave, and then what your budget is. And for me, the Parker variant or the Progress just depends on what your taste is, and the way the shaver looks. Both of them shave fantastic, but then when you start looking at the price point and longevity and what you're actually looking for, an Ambassador or any razor that's priced in this price range, in other words, $250, in that price range, you're looking at something that's going to last you your lifetime going into the next. It just depends on what you're looking for. For me, in other words, after I'm done, and I guess you might say done and gone, this will go on to the next generation and in my family, and certain information about this particular razor will be, I think, beneficial to them history-wise. All right, going from setting 6 to setting 5, and yes, that was a very smooth, easy-going shave. So as it goes for me, my experience, I could probably go all 3 passes on setting 6 and be quite happy with it. I feel like it's a little bit smoother shave with this on setting 6 as opposed to setting 9. So you'd have to just kind of, as goes for shave experience, what you experience and what I experience might be totally different. But I have to say, the shave experience with this razor is really nice. For me, it'd be more of a history thing. In other words, buying a Gillette Fat Boy or Slim in pristine shape, or have one that's replated, versus this one here. This feels so solid in the hand. In other words, quite happy with the purchase. This this shave is pretty good. Very smooth. Wow. All right, before I forget, I'm going to go ahead and change to setting 4 for against the grain. I'm telling you, this shaver, it is awesome. Now, I understand, back, if you watch the video that was put out a while back, I guess you might say the history of this particular razor that Matt put out. In the beginning, there was, a certain number of issues that was going on with that razor when it was first built. I think there was a spring issue, which I think if I remember right, that's what was causing some of the alignment problems. In other words, when the safety bars would actually move up and down, some of them wouldn't move. One side wouldn't move quite like it should, or something like that. I can't remember all of it, but anyway, it's had some growing pains, if you will. So a lot of those have been worked out. And if you've noticed of late, There's even a gold version of this particular razor as well as the Envoy, and it's, man, I tell you, that gold version just looks fantastic. I mean, it just really it's an eye grabber. It gets attention really quick. To get a gold version of this one here, yeah, it really gets your attention and makes you really consider what you really want. If you're looking at a razor that's going to last you the rest of your life, I would have to say I'd be quite happy. If this was the only razor I had, I'd be quite happy with it. Would not be disappointed at all. It does, there is a case available for it if you're unfamiliar with Rex Supply. The case that's available for it will work with the Envoy as well as the Ambassador, and it is something that I kind of toss about from time to time. The case itself is not inexpensive either, but it's also not a, how you say, a cheaply made case either. It'll run you about $100 if you're looking at that. We're talking about something that's going to last you the rest of your lifetime. So you kind of sort of have to look at it like that. This is not something for somebody probably just starting out, unless you are seriously committed to doing this kind of shaving. Really smooth, nice shave. It's not somebody that might, in other words, spend that kind of cash and then decide, a month later that this is not for them. I would not start out with a that kind of price point. I would go for something cheaper, not quite as expensive because of the price point. But on the other hand, you're going to get your money back out of it. In other words, if you go the buy, sell, trade route, you're going to get most of your money back on it. So you won't have, in other words, a huge loss or anything quite like that. No stinging this morning. Really nice shave. Really like this razor. It is fantastic. I think that's probably unfortunate for the Fat Boy because I like this razor. I have a Fat Boy. It's not in pristine shape. I've shaved with the Fat Boy. I like the Fat Boy, but as it goes for money spent, since I got money spent on this this one here, I don't think I'll get a pristine Fat Boy. I think I'm quite happy with this one here. I do enjoy razors with history. It really means a lot to me. But when you talk about budget, price point, whatnot, I think I made the right choice here. This one here works great. And like I said, I've got a slim here as well as a Fat Boy, and both of them are not in the best of shape, but they shape just fine. And if you fall in that school of thought that you should leave it the way that it is, with the patina on there, with the plate loss, and just leave it just like that, there is that going on, which I can understand, but there's also part of me that like to have one replated looking just fantastic, and it's just that what it does for the aesthetics, cosmetic, what it does for your mind when you see something that's bright and shiny, just beautiful looking. This one here, oh, this is an awesome shaver. I don't know that for me, with the shaves that I prefer, I don't know that 4 would be a fairly mild shave for me. I don't know that settings 3, 2, and 1. It probably just depend on my skin, on how it's working that day. There are days, in other words, as I get older, some days my skin, how can you say, responds differently, just depending on how, I guess you might say, for me, it's how dry it gets. So I do try to keep it moisturized. All right, going to work with this Clubman Reserve. I got a link down below for all this stuff also, in case I forgot to mention it. That is what the restrictor looks like, and this is a plastic container, I should mention. Like I said, this is it's a very manly scent. I used the same aftershave yesterday, and my nose was working pretty well because it was like, I guess, be about 2 hours after the fact, and my nose was still picking it up, which was, I was quite surprised that my nose was still able to smell it after that length of time. But this is, yeah, it's a manly scent. it's just right up my alley. A lot of the Clubman scents are I feel like, they were thinking of me when they made a lot of these because my nose really likes them. I know it won't be for everybody, but I got a link down below if you're interested in checking these out. I can't wait for the next set that they come out with. Hopefully they are. I don't know one way or the other, but coming out with some new ones to I guess you might say, add to the collection. My first one, I guess you might say, especially the container looks like this. I tell you what, the Bay Rum is, for me, it's fantastic. Great scent for my nose. I think it fits me, my personality. But anyway, I had a great shave this morning. Quick, easy, just awesome shave this morning. Hope everybody's doing well. Stay healthy, stay safe, and smooth shaves to you.